Welcome to this episode of A Toasted Chef, but this is going to be a dry episode. Um, you will see why shortly because I have slave labor underage. But it's, for the occasion, basically. I wear my best cooking shirt, only one stain on it so far, but there's a lot of time left. Okay, this is 16 ounces of macaroni for Pop's mac and cheese. A little sea salt in there, a little bit of olive oil in there. And we only cook this for about 6 minutes until it's al dente. And then what we're going to do is rinse it off, let it cool down. It's macaroni time. Okay, what we got here is we have about 6 tablespoons of flour, a quarter cup of unsalted butter, a pan on medium low, and let me see, slave labor. And say hi.
Hi.
That's our slave labor. So what the slave labor is going to do, he's going to pick up a piece of that butter, that stick of that butter, with the hand you just didn't rub your lips with, and drop that in the pan. There you go. All right, and then drop the next one. And there you go. So that's your job for this part of it. I'll call you in when there's more. Thank you. Thank you, James.
Welcome.
Okay, what you can see we have here is we got, the butter just about melted. We have this medieval torture device for sifting flour, and we have our flour. I could just dump the flour in, but it'll be lumpy. So this thing, I think it's been in the family since one of the early O'Mearas worked in King Arthur's court, making the flour that I usually make the bread with. And you can see it's getting old. It's a little rusty and everything like that. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what that is? That's iron. That's all it is. It's iron. It's good for your blood. So we're going to make a nice roux with the flour in here. And when we come back, the roux will be done. We'll be ready to start putting in some wet ingredients. Okay, we're well on the way to a nice Bechamel sauce. I don't know if that's how the heck you say it. I grew up in Harding. What do I know? For all I know, it's be caramel. I don't know. But it's a nice white sauce. It's nowhere near ready yet. It's not thick. But it's that butter and the flour from before. And we've also added 4 cups of whole milk. What we're going to do next is we're going to get ready to add the whipping cream. Notice.
Heavy whipping cream?
Yeah, whipping cream. It's heavy whipping cream. See, pick it up a second, buddy. Go ahead. Is it heavy?
No.
I don't know. Yeah. False advertising. What I want you to do, don't be drinking it. I want you to do is use your other hand too on the bottom. I want you to pour it in. Okay? Go ahead. Pour her in. Kind of like more of a gentle pour next time there, because next door neighbor got some in his eye. But now what we're going to do is, what do you got there? Let me see. You're set. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay. He's got to get it all in there. Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
I can't
All right.
get any.
So. All right. So now you're free for a couple more minutes, okay, buddy? I'll call you when we're ready for more.
I know, Pop.
Okay, what we're doing now, again, we started with butter and then some sifted flour, and now we've added 4 cups of milk after the flour and butter were in a nice roux, and all that was done over medium low, which is like 2.5 on my stove. And now what we're doing is we're going to crank the heat up to 5.5, which is medium high on my stove. And once it's actually up to a nice little boil, we're going to cut it down to a simmer around 2, and we're going to just keep stirring it and whisking it until it reaches basically a point where it coats the back of a spoon, and then we'll be bringing in the slave labor again. Okay, we're just about at the point where this is at a low boil. If you look around every once in a while, you'll see a little bit of activity like right there going on. And I consider low boil to be any boil that I catch before it boils to the point that I'm scraping it off the ceiling, which has happened about a half dozen times. And that's why I stand over this now. You can't go watch a halftime show and come back to something like this because it's 2 days cleaning it. But as soon as this starts to perk up just a little bit more, there we are. See that? Here we go. I think we're in low boil territory. any second now. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to cut this down and let it simmer, and we're going to do that right now. Okay, it's at that point where we're supposed to see if it will coat the back of a spoon. I guess it's sacrilege if it coats the inside of the spoon. I don't know, maybe demons come out of the floor and eat me. So we're going to do what they say. Some got in. I'm going straight to heck. Look at that. Just coats the back of that perfectly. That's exactly what we need. Now I am going to, I'll taste it. It's a little hot. Next, what I have over here, I've got about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe a little more, of dry mustard, ground mustard, which I find really gives it a nice zip. Buried under there someplace, about 2.5 teaspoons of fine sea salt, and then I ground in maybe a half teaspoon or so of pepper. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that, kind of sprinkle this here, and then I'll whisk it and incorporate it. And then as soon as that's all done, get our trusty whisk here. And as soon as I get this in here, let it cook another couple minutes here. What I'm going to do next is get my galley slave in here to help me start doing probably everybody's favorite part, putting in the cheese. Putting on the cheese. Okay, we have this just about ready for the cheese. That's about 1/2 bag, about 4 ounces of shredded Wisconsin cheddar. I got 2 8-ounce bags of that. So I have my pal James here. Hey, James.
Hello, Pops.
Hello, Pops. He's going to pick up that bowl, and he's slowly going to pour the cheese right in here.
Now?
Yeah, go ahead now. We're going to do this in batches. That's it. There you go. That's good. Oh, get it all in there. Go ahead. And get it all, get it all. There we are. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to thank my cheese guy for all his help today. Thank you, cheese guy.
You're welcome, Pops.
Give me a kiss. Mwah. Okay, go have some fun now.
Is that all I'm having today?
He's great help. And you know what? He's free. I hope you can tell this is really turning a nice color now. This sauce has all the cheese in it. We're just mixing in the last of it. So again, we had those 2 8-ounce bags, and we put it in about a cup at a time, 1/2 bag at a time, till it's all melted. And in a second, what I'm going to do is I have about 3/4 of a cup of mozzarella. I do this because grandkids, they just love stuff that stretches. And we're going to put that in and start to melt this into it as well. Now, if you wanted to, you could basically put your cooked macaroni into a big baking dish, pour this over top of it, make yourself a nice a crunchy topping, and put it in the oven and cook it and brown it. But you know what, in this house, we can't wait that long for macaroni and cheese. I'm sorry. What we're going to do in a minute or so, and then I'll show you the final product. Once this is all incorporated, we're just going to dump all that macaroni in here, mix it all up, and then I'm going to feed my grandkids and see what they think about it. Okay, I've added about 2/3 of my pound of macaroni. Got 16 ounces of macaroni total in this, and I've put in 1/3 at a time, to give it a chance to mix well. I think the hardest part of this whole thing was figuring out 1/3, because it's 16 ounces, and you divide 3 into that, and you start getting all these weird fractions. So what I did, I took a much easier route. I took the square root of pi and multiplied that by some kind of macaroni factor I found on the web, and that's how much I put in. So when I put the last bunch in, at that point, it's testing time. Okay, you can see now we have all the macaroni in there, and it looks really good. And here, this is for the most important part of the whole thing. James has to taste this and tell me whether it's the bomb or whether Pop bombed. Go ahead, buddy. Go at it.
Just that much?
As much as you want, buddy. What do you think?
I'd say bomb.
It's the bomb?
Mm-hmm.
It's good, huh?
Yeah.
All righty. If you want the rest of it, take it with you. He does. He wants it so bad that he's not going to take it. He's going to eat it right here. Is it that good?
Yeah.
It's the bomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can't talk. His mouth's full. And there you go, folks. Pop's mac and cheese. Still at it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff, huh? You got cheese. Look at that. You got cheese in the bottom of that bowl. Don't let that cheese get away. You got it, buddy. Hey, come here a second. High five. Give me a high five. There we are.